Hi, Denise. How you doing? Let's go through your work here. So, I just want to, first of all, congratulate you for hanging in there throughout the weeks. It's a tough class. It really is. I think a lot of students. I think I'm safe in saying that a good, solid majority of students really don't know what kind of work is involved in a putting together a student portfolio, design portfolio. And I think it really kind of sneaks up on a lot of students. And it's just an amazing amount of work. And I think you've done a good job. And I think that you, most importantly, understand that there's still plenty that you need to do. And you said that in your writing. And I think that's really, really an astute thing. And I commend you for that. With that attitude, I feel very safe in going through your final presentation here and saying, you know what, Denise, there's some things here that can be improved upon. I think you're doing a fantastic job getting things together. I think that you're not to the point yet where you can sit down in front of an employer. And I think there's a few things that I would recommend that you do that not so much that you do, but you understand why you're doing it, because according to your writing, you're still going to be working on this anyways. So let's take a look. What do we have here? We have the cover letter and the resume. Cover letter is good. Don't forget, you'd have your enclosures down there because you will include your resume in here. Typically you give your cover letter. Okay. Your package would be this. You're going to, if you're mailing this to somebody or emailing it, quite often what's going to happen is that they're going to see this first. This is your first touch point, your cover letter. So your cover letter is going to get your resume looked at. Okay. With a good cover letter, hiring professional is going to go, oh, okay, this is done well. I think I'll look at the resume. Okay. So we go to the resume. And if the resume is done well, then that hiring professional goes, wow, 2 for 2, not bad. I owe this a look. And it's going to start looking. If there's any mistakes in this, they're not going to go further to the resume. If there's any mistakes in a resume, they're not going to continue on to the portfolio. And that's just the way it is. You're talking about some folks that are darn busy. So first mistake is usually the one that gets you removed from consideration. Okay, so the cover letter looks good. I think that one thing I would do here is do whatever you can to include a name there. Research, do anything you can to find out who the name of the person that's going to receive this. Personalize it. It works really well. There's some things you'll have to do with your resume, and I think that those are something that you would probably want to get involved with, maybe a career center at the college here, or maybe do some consulting with them to look at the proper format and really setting up your resume. As far as the portfolio itself goes, is you've got right here. Let's jump in here and we see you've got an 11 by 8.5 page, which, I mean, I would use a different size page. I really would, Denise. I think it's so much more interesting to use something like a 8.5 by 13.75, something that's a little bit more harmonious in terms of a presentation. And I say harmonious in terms of the relationship of the width to the height, and that is based on the golden section, which we know to be harmonious and comfortable to the eye. So I always suggest you derive or use some derivative of the golden section for your pages. Now this right here I think is a huge mistake. You've got this so high up in the composition that you're just really encroaching your page. I've said that before, so that shouldn't be new. You've got graphic design portfolio, Denise Carter, but you have DSC here and Denise Carter here. So there's a disconnect. If you're going to use DSC in your logo, I would recommend you use Denise S. Carter in your name. I also recommend starting out with your personal identity. Don't start out with your corporate identity because yours is more important. Don't forget that's a number 10 envelope. Personal identity. This is your sample sheet, and what this shouldn't take so many pages. I don't know if you misunderstood what I said, but a sample sheet, you should just show your pieces on a grid on a page. Here's one piece, here's another piece, here's 5 pieces, just for somebody, a chance for the viewer to say, wow, okay, this is what you have to look forward to. Okay, I would not present the same piece on the same page twice. This piece is, I would definitely put a black stroke around that. And again, these are things I've talked about through the weeks. It's your strongest piece right there. I would open with that piece. Make sure that that these are production ready Die lines, though, that's really important that you show that they're production ready, meaning show your trim lines, your bleed lines, and your die cuts as well. This there's no subtext on this page, so the same comments from last week. You only have one page that has text. Now this is really starting to get curious because you're starting to use the same pieces twice. Cardinal sin in portfolio design for a designer. Do not try to use the same work in two different sections. Okay, but looking at the page mechanics and the way that everything else is set up, I think it's really come a long way, Denise. And I think that you're ready to take this to the next level in terms of really looking at each piece individually and really getting down to fine tuning this. And I'm talking about things like making sure that these are, that's got to be a number 10 envelope. You can't show it like this. It's indicating that you don't know the size of a business envelope, and that's a pretty serious thing. So you don't want to show that. This wouldn't be a business card. That's not in relationship to a 3.5 by 2. That's 3.5 wide by 2 inches high, and that's the size of a business card. And this certainly doesn't look like it falls within that ratio. All right. So other than that, I think you've done fabulous. I will have some notes and grading regarding what is missing or what needs to be included in this. I noticed there's a couple of things that need to be included. So I'll just go ahead and leave that in grading. Great job, Denise. Thank you so much for all your effort through the weeks. If you need me through for anything in the future, please feel free to contact me. The class might be over, but that does not mean that you can't call me. I'm familiar with your work. So call on me to help you through any issues while you're setting up your portfolio and your continue working with your branding suite. Thank you very much, Denise.